lessons learned, or passionate ideas. Every opinion expressed here is strictly that of the person who gives it. Let us consciously and lovingly agree to disagree. If it does not resonate with us, that is okay. And today's speaker is Edmund Green, and his topic is the cycles of co-creation. And Edmund is the owner of Smiley's Touch, where he offers massage therapy and Reiki energy healing. Part of his soul's purpose and life mission is to inspire others to bring more peace into their lives and through self-discovery. And it's my honor to present Edmund Green.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So today I'm going to talk about the cycles of co-creating. I didn't really write my speech today, so I'm going to try to speak. So first, to start off, a little bit about cycles and co-creation. A cycle is a continuous loop or direction, keeps going around and around, different things. A creation, to me, co-creators. Co-creators, I actually tried to look up a definition a few months ago. I didn't find anything that had to do with spirituality. It's more so about business. So for me, co-creating is two or more people, animals, or divine beings, spirits, coming together to create something towards a common goal, to make it grow. An example of creating or co-creating would be planting a seed. When you plant a seed, you find somewhere to put in the ground, you give it water, and you fertilize it to allow it to grow. But a seed by itself, just giving it water and fertilizer it's not all it needs to grow. It also needs air and sun and the right conditions. And that's where the co-creating comes in. The sun and the air, and also even it might need to be pollinated. But all of that is already there. That the support for what the seed, what the plant needs is already there. It's just waiting for that seed to grow. Something else that plant needs is it needs space. You have to clear the space for it to grow, to make the conditions right so that it can flourish and continue to flourish. So with that, what's something that you want to create in your life? So if you're willing, everyone close your eyes. Think of something that you want to create in your life. Whether it's more love, more happiness, more peace. And come back when you're ready. So when we create something like whatever you just chose, you just plant the seed and know that the support is already there. It's not something that you have to continuously think about. If you feel in your soul and in your heart that that's what you want, the support will come to it and allow it to happen. For myself, I feel that one of the reasons why we cannot, or we're not able to create things the way we want to is, I think that we focus on the issues and the problems and the lack too much. And as the saying goes, where your attention goes, energy will flow. So if you're continuously focusing on dysfunctions or lack, that's what you'll always have, and you'll continue that cycle. But if you focus on what you want to create, what you want to bring in, that's where your energy will go. For me, I want to create more peace. Peace is the foundation of mostly everything I do. I didn't realize that until maybe a couple of years ago. But even in my part of my mission statement, my business is helping clients to return to their body, mind, and soul to the natural symmetry of inner peace. But even going back to about a year ago when I started walking in nature, I just decided that I needed to be out in nature more. So I started to go out and walk, and I realized that brought me peace. It was a time to be silent with myself, with my spirit. I found that answers to questions I had would come to me. It was grounding, it was peaceful. And for that, I wanted to share that with others. So something I did was, an idea came to me. I did a forest bathing exercise a couple of years ago. And it came to me that more people needed that. More people could enjoy that. And by sharing that with others would help me bring peace, and it might help them bring peace also. So with that, I found that Kelley did meditations, because at that time I wasn't, with adding the meditation, I felt that it would be another extra layer of peace. And at that time I wasn't confident enough to speak and guide people that way. So I asked her if she would do the meditations, if she wanted to do a forest bathing meditation hike. And she immediately said yes. And since then we just finished our fourth one. And since then, more and more people have been coming and enjoying that. And that right there is a example of the cycle of co-creating that I felt that helping others, bringing peace for myself, and creating that hike or that space for others to come in and asking Kelley if she would do it, the support for the creation was already there. It just had to keep on going. So that's an example of the cycle of co-creating. But there's more than that. For me, I think peace is it's something that the world needs more of, that we all need more of. Looking back from the history that I know of the world, the only time that there's ever really been peace on Earth or in the universe is at the beginning. Somewhere along the line, we created conflict. And since we've created conflict, it's just been a continuous cycle of that conflict. And I feel that if we get back to the peace, the world will be a much better place. So if you want more love or more joy, by creating that, you'll have more peace. I've told people that one of my missions is to bring peace on earth. And most people have told me that it's impossible because there's lots of different conflict and everyone has different views and so forth. But a wise man told me that the way to bring peace on earth is to start within. The peace starts with you. The change that you wish to be starts with you. And if you allow more joy or more love from it to come into your life, I believe all of that will create peace. And you will, if you're full of love or joy or happiness and so forth, and you are feeling that, that peace will expand outward, and it will be absorbed by others through your actions, what you say, or someone may just notice that you are very peaceful and ask you, how'd you do that? And you share that with them. And that's how the cycle of peace begins and keeps going forward. And for me, it's for me, while it may take a long time to do, I feel that whenever I leave this plane, the earth, whatever, if I share that information with people and I'm gone and I never come back, the information is shared. So people will continue that cycle of peace going forward. And if it's true that we do come back and live another life and have to remember where we were, then for me in this life, I'm working on peace. When I come back, I'll be able to continue working on it. Throw something else. It's not coming right now. So I did write a poem of sorts. So I'm gonna go with that. I am blissful, but I am also full of tears. I am light and I am darkness. I am positive and I am negative. I am a creator, but I can also destroy. I am I, and so are you. But together, we, yes, we, the continuous cycle of you and I, we are one. We are harmonious. We are conflict resolved and love divine. We are the stewards of life sustained. And above all, we are powerful co-creators. We can create peace on earth, beginning within. It's said it takes a village to raise a child. We are that village, every one of us. And that child is peace. Peace within, peace on earth, peace in the universe. As above, so below, and in between. So for me, the title of that poem, by the way, which there's like 3 names for it, and I was going to leave it untitled, and it could be whatever name you choose. But the name I chose is Wee Wee. And so going through that is over the last month and a half, when I sat down to kind of write my talk today, it wasn't coming to me. But little talks that I've had with different people has made it into my talk. So the reason why the title of that is Wee Wee is because before Christopher Reynolds, before they went to France, I was talking to him and he was telling me he went to France, and I told him that I didn't know any French. I took it in the 4th grade, but I don't remember any of it. And he was going through and he was saying the numbers in the alphabet, and I was like, none of that rings a bell. So maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I don't know, I was doing something and the thought came to me. Doesn't in in French, we spelled O-U-I. And while that means we, it's pronounced we, but the word means yes. And I looked at it and I realized that it's a cycle. So um, one of the sentences in that poem is the continuous cycle of you and I, or the continuous cycle O and you and I, which is pronounced we and means yes. So that's why I decided to call it we. So yeah. So yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. But knowing that the things you want to create, the support's already there, and even going through, there's a lot of examples today that with carrying the meditation, with people, with Christopher helping me with this poem, even though he didn't know. Other people, David, we had a talk the other day, and part of that came into my talk also. So a lot of different things. So, and while I thank everyone who made it into, even if I don't remember you, you helped me co-create my speech today. And all of you here also helped me co-create the speech, because you're here and you allow me to speak this message and get it out. And I believe that some part of it, you'll take some part of it with you. And it'll help to guide you further in your future at some point in time. And you'll probably share it with someone else and someone else. And that cycle of co-creating peace will continue. So, and thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We love that. We love that. Can we have questions from the floor for Edmund, please? It's Reverend Barbara.
Well, I have a comment, not a question.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware of it, but 4 o'clock this morning, you had a new moon, which is 20 Pisces, if that matters to you. And it's a wonderful time to co-create, to have intentions. I would suggest we invite the divine and co-create that way. But anyway, it's a really good time to be focused on new intentions, co-creating. So thank you for your timeliness, whether you knew it or not.
And if I add to that, is because I did realize, I didn't know it beforehand, but I did realize today is the new moon. For whatever I saw on a calendar, that today is also the start of the holy month Ramadan in Islam.
Yes,
today is was daylight saving time begins, which usually on this day I try to stay at home and not do anything. So, but I didn't realize when I chose this day that it was daylight savings time, but it's going in my cycle of when I speak. Today was exactly 105 days or 13.8 weeks since the last time I spoke, which today 3 and 10 is 13, which is part of my foundation. So, yeah.
Any other comments? Go ahead, Carrie.
Co-creating is just like, it's an honor to co-create with you. And I can't remember what the saying is, but it comes from spirit, whenever 2 or more are gathered, the energy is, and again, I don't remember but the energy is multiplied. Like if the 2 are single by themselves, it can create so much, but when 2 or more people come together, all of a sudden it's exponential.
Gestalt.
Yeah, it's exponential. So co-creating is the sum is more than the, or how do you say the sum is more than the parts. So yeah, so co-creating. So yeah, thank you.
Which reminds me, I never heard the phrase co-creator before you said it to me. So yeah.
Any other comments or questions? Go ahead, Dave.
Thank you for bringing up the need for space and clearing of past or emotional debris or people that do not serve your highest good at the moment, to clear that availability of finding peace and co-creating with spirit and with other beings in this existence. Thank you.
And Fran, for our conversation that we had about, you had spoke to me about talking about the meditation, the forest bathing, and having a thing on that, which just sometime after that, I decided that that was a perfect example to put into my talk to show another example of co-creating. So thank you.
Anything else? Okay, that was wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Thank you again. That was wonderful. I think too, when we co-create, we have to remember that sometimes we're uncomfortable, because that's growth when we're uncomfortable. And when we get too comfortable, like for me, I get anxiety. So when I'm uncomfortable, at least I know I'm growing and I'm trying. So I think to remember just to try, just to acknowledge the support and just to try. Otherwise I wouldn't be up here today, because I would say, no, I'm too uncomfortable. So that is true. So this also is an example of co-creation, and the support is here. So I agree 100%.